Hey everybody, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I am the bone of my sword.
Or
the
bone
of my horse. Bone of my horse, sorry.
I was hoping you were going to look that up. The horse's bone. Hey, do you know that's actually based off of a real place?
Yeah.
Umanohone?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what have you been up to since last we spoke?
Oh, let's see here. I finished
Oh boy.
Love is War.
Uh-huh.
I started on Steins Gate, the VN. It came out on Switch a while back.
And how are you finding that?
It's fine. I think it's better than the anime for sure.
Really?
Mostly because you get more of Okabe's internal monologue, so you kind of realize how big of an idiot he is. In the anime, you're like, why is this guy such an idiot? But in the VN, you kind of understand what it's doing earlier, so you're not just like, well, this is a giant anime trope and I hate it.
I don't know. He's a pretty big idiot.
I see why he's a giant anime trope. It just makes more sense in the VN.
Anything else?
So, I feel like there's something else, but I don't remember what it was.
Did you watch any of the new stuff coming out?
Any of the new stuff? No, I don't have time for that. I barely have time to watch this stuff.
Bah. I've watched several of the things.
Okay, good. What'd you watch?
Well, I watched Isekai Quartet. It's pretty silly.
How's that? I would imagine.
I mean, it's only like, 10 minutes long, so it's pretty funny. Although, since you've probably only seen one of the shows, well, I know you've seen one of the shows, you probably have to see at least two to get jokes.
I mean, I've watched a decent amount of stupid, dumb show.
Konosuba?
I mean, that one. I mean, the other one.
ReZero? Overlord?
No, not watch ReZero. No.
Tanya the Evil?
I
just named all the four shows that are in it.
Sword. I thought Sword Art was in it.
Oh, no. No.
Sword Art Online's too good for it.
Let's say yes and move on.
It's not, though. It's really not, though.
I did watch an episode of Fairy Gone.
Oh, how was that?
I was very disappointed.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It seems like it has a cool setup, but then the main character? I guess she's the main character. She spends the entire first episode just screaming after another person.
Oh, lame.
Because it was a childhood friend.
Oh,
I finally found you. And then we continue that for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, la-di-da.
Yeah, it might get better, but it did not leave a lasting impression. However, Demon Slayer is legit. And you should watch
I saw that GIF.
Oh, it's so
good. It's good
so
GIF. Good GIF. Big fan of this GIF.
I've seen 2 episodes of it, and it's choice. I like it.
Yeah.
Watched an episode of One Punch Man, the second season.
Yeah, how is it?
It's different. I'm not going to be like the rest of the internet and say it's terrible, but it is different. Of course, I've only seen one episode. I think the second one came out like a day or 2 ago.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they usually put their best animation in the first episode, so...
See, and here's the thing, is I think the atmosphere is the same, but there's just something off. And I think one of the things that's off is, in the original series, every time Saitama was not being super cool, they drew him in like really, really simple everything.
Yeah,
right?
No, it was great. It was very well done. It was a good,
they don't
good
do that
visual
here.
joke.
Yeah, I think that's what's missing.
Yeah, harsh.
And then my wife has been getting me to watch The Promised Neverland.
Promised? Oh, yeah. That looked like it could be interesting. That's from, what, a season or 2 ago?
Yeah, it's from last season. I think I'm 5 episodes in.
I mean, I remember seeing that and being like, well, this could be really, really interesting. And it keeps being like one of the top shows on Crunchyroll.
I have weird mixed feelings about it. Like, it's got the whole you never know what's going on thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's giving me enough information that I could figure stuff out on my own, but it still has that kind of Sherlock vibe of, and then here's the thing I didn't tell you.
Yeah, I hate that.
I mean, it's not doing it all the time like Sherlock does.
Yeah.
But there are elements of it.
Character designs are not my favorite, not gonna lie.
They're not fantastic. It's not great art.
Not a big fan of that character design. I'm not gonna say the art's bad. I just don't like the character designer is not my cup of tea. But that's not to say it's bad. It's just
I don't think it's bad. I don't even think it's I think it's better than average, but I don't know. There's something off about it. Good, put a finger on it.
Yeah. Hey, well, what everyone does like.
Is it Ero manga?
It's Ero manga. That's what I was going for. You did it.
アンドロメダの流星群直撃したらこんな感じ
There's a Eromanga sensei in this show before there was an Eromanga sensei, and this Eromanga sensei is way better. Probably because she's not 5 years old.
Ooh, yeah, no. Ooh, yeah, no. Ooh, yeah, please no.
So this week we decided to watch Denki-gai no Honya-san.
The Miss Bookseller of Denki-gai, which is fake-Akihabara.
It is fake-Akihabara.
I love how fake the show is, and it makes me very happy.
How fake it is?
Well, you know, how it's not Akihabara, how it's not this thing that you know it is, but it's not that. The show's very authentic, but everything is, it's this, but it's not. And it's good.
It
makes me
plays
happy.
with its references very well.
I like it better that it's all very serial number filed off rather than if it had gone through the trouble to make it that. There's something just great about it being the fake versions of everything rather than it being the real one.
Slightly altered.
Attack on Uncle really does make me very happy. Like, there's something to be said about Wotakoi, right? Where it's like has very real references and it feels very down to earth. Mm-hmm. Where this one just makes up fake versions of everything and it works just as well. But I guess it's the whole tonal difference, right? Where the other one is too real, is like grown, this is too real. Where Honya-san is very, this is too real.
That's a fair way of putting that.
It's a different kind of too real. Especially as somebody who works in retail.
Oh, yeah.
And has worked in specialty nerd retail before as well.
Oh my, yes. I had forgotten how much you would probably connect with this.
Oh, yes. No, it makes me very delighted.
So this was actually a real manga that ran from 2011 to like 2017. So it ran for quite a while. The anime came out in 2014. And basically it
does not feel old. It feels like it's from like last year.
I know, right? How's it do that?
I don't know.
Probably because nothing's really changed in nerd culture since then, or ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, sort of, but yeah, not in a while, that's for sure.
Basic setup of the show is there's a bunch of misfit adults and one high schooler who all work in a doujin store.
Well, I mean, it's a doujin store, yes, but it's also just a comic book shop.
It's both.
But a doujin is, well, it's kind of got multiple meanings, right? So
there's the official meaning, which is just a fan-published work.
Yeah, so it's basically independent comics.
Correct.
Sometimes they're independent fan comics, which means it's going to take it's like a fanfic, but a comic.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, especially in the States, a doujin is almost always super porny.
I mean, super porny. It's just porny. Flat out.
Yeah, just porny.
It doesn't have to be porn specifically. It could just be, ecchi. But
yeah, they're porny.
They're gentleman's special interest literature.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Documentaries. Special kind of documentaries.
Yeah, so all these people work in this store, and they have, I want to say adventures, but it's really just slice of life, and people like each other in the end.
It is. So it feels very much like a good Yonkoma show.
It is.
That's all fine. But it does a really good job putting in some good romances.
It does.
Like, the romances are actually pretty cute and pretty real feeling.
Most of them, yeah.
It's kind of nice.
So what are your overall thoughts on Denki-gai no
it's
Honya-san?
Fine. It's not one that's going to stick with me super long, especially having worked in retail and specialty nerd retail. There's a lot of love in it for me. It's not one that I would go out of my way to hyper recommend to people.
It is pretty niche, I guess. One thing is, I love how sincere this show is. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, but it's really sincere about everything. You can tell the creator really knows manga inside and out, and just loves the culture surrounding it.
In order to make fun of something as well as this does, you have to actually like it.
Oh yeah.
So you can tell that he likes it.
The only issue with it is, to use a phrase from earlier in our series, it is kind of forgettable.
Yeah, it is.
And in this case, I can say that with 100% certainty, because I actually watched this like 2 or 3 years ago.
You forgot that you had watched it?
Well, I remembered certain bits of it, like the Sommelier party and the characters.
Yes, I like the Sommelier
But I'd
parties.
forgotten everything else.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
So
it is. It's just kind of it is kind of a throwaway show. But on the flip side of that, it's one of the few shows that we've watched for this in which that I did just kind of binge watch in a day and was like, I'll watch the next one. I'll watch the next one. None of them had me like laugh out loud, but
no, they have some pretty good chortle moments.
I just kept being like, I'll watch the next one.
Actually,
I'll watch the next one.
Chortle is not quite the right reaction I had to a lot of the jokes. Most of them were like pursed lips and a hand on the forehead.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was going to go with titter.
Titter. Oh, that is very apropos.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see. I thought you would like that one.
Yeah. So I guess we should say spoilers, but again, it's a show you can't really spoil.
Spoilers, they go camping. Like, what do you want from this? Spoilers, they sell book. Well, you can kind of spoil some of the romances, but not really. They don't really
most
go
of them are introduced in the first episode, and they kind of grow a bit, but nothing's resolved by the end.
Here's the first thing that we're going to put under the spoiler tag. Spoiler, who's actually the main character?
I don't have an answer for you.
Oh, I do.
Well, if we go by the way they're presented in the show,
yes,
I think the main character is supposed to be Hio-tan, but
that is who it's supposed to be. She is our point of view introductory character. She is the stand-in for the person watching the show.
But she's not the main character. The main character.
She is not the main character.
Is Sensei.
Absolutely, because she's the only one that has an arc.
And from your point of view, she has a Hime cut.
She does. Sensei is definitely my favorite character in the show. So Sensei wins.
Yeah.
Obviously. Also, I love how the badge on her color of her tracksuit changes with the seasons.
Oh, did it? I didn't notice.
Did you notice that?
I did not.
Yeah, it did.
So she does change clothes. Good for her.
Yeah, she does. Remember?
Yeah, I know she has all those tracksuits, but However, the show goes to great lengths to bully her in the meta. Like, a lot. Does. I feel sorry for her. Like, why is this show so mean to you?
No. But it's so good and so real. The scene where she's trying to think of how to be as rough as possible is choice.
That whole what am I going to wear sketch was just...
it's excellent.
I just love watching all of Umino's reactions. They were just like the one where he spits.
Umino's really good.
That's a really good
one. He's a good straight foil man for Sensei. Yeah.
So I guess let's go through all the characters besides Sensei.
Oh shoot! I was supposed to introduce myself as because the name of the family restaurant they always go to.
Oh,
it's very similar to my own name,
Jonigans.
Oh well. Yeah. Wow. Beans.
So let's see. The nominal main character is Hio-tan.
Yes.
She's the point of view character, as you said, and she's not actually an otaku like everybody else.
No, she's kind of a normie. She really likes. She's kind of into BL, but kind of lightly. She's mostly kind of a normie.
I think she does grow over the course of the series, not as a character per se, but she's more open in her interests.
Her adult interests.
Indeed. However, I do love the fact that she is embarrassed by literally everything that goes on around her, and yet she's working in a porn store.
Basically. I mean, it's not...
It's mainly a porn
store. But, I mean, yeah. It is a place with adult interests.
Indeed. I don't know. I like Hio-tan.
Hio-tan's okay.
I think deep down is as perverted as everybody else in that store.
Oh, absolutely she is.
She just won't admit it to herself.
And her relationship with Kantoku is very good.
I love how much she digs herself her own grave in like pretty much any interaction with him that she has.
Yes. Doesn't she?
Like when she was trying to ascertain whether or not Kantoku still liked his old flame.
Yeah.
And she went about it by asking, whose boobs do you like better? Mine or hers?
You like boobs? Whose boobs do you like more?
And she only asked that because she was too embarrassed to ask, do you like me more than her?
Oh yeah, no, that's a tough question. But in this context, it's much easier to be like, so whose boobs are better?
And then he gets up on the table and gives a very impassioned speech.
He has a very good speech about the love of breasts.
It's very good. What about Foo Girl?
I don't know. Foo Girl's okay. I do like how she can whip that bat out and wants to beat Umino to death. So that's pretty good.
You know, she only beats Umino to death because she believes that in a zombie apocalypse, he'll be the one to save other people and become a zombie himself. And
Yeah,
for that,
Roger.
he deserves death.
Because he just looks so much like a
Like he's
like a
dead.
zombie, right?
He's already dead on the inside.
He's already dead on the inside, yeah, isn't he?
Oh, that's sad.
But Food Girl's pretty good.
She's the youngest person working
She's
at the store.
She's a little lolly for my taste, but she's pretty good.
Well, she's supposed to be 16, although it doesn't really
Yeah,
come
but
across.
they definitely play up the sort of a lolly aspect on it.
Well, it helps that she's like super, super short compared to Sommelier.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, she makes a good, lovely item to Sommelier.
Sometimes she's a hat.
Yeah, sometimes she's the top of a tank.
Let's see. What about Kamiko?
Well, she's not one of the characters, so she's barely a character in the show. So
I feel sorry for her because the show could do more with her, but they basically are like, yeah, she likes cameras. Character. Although I do relate to her a lot, being a camera guy myself. I'm always the one taking the pictures, and then when someone turns a camera on me, I'm like, you know what? Screw off. How dare you? Why would you do this?
I do enjoy how they get her off of the tug of war.
Oh, by tempting her with a very nice lens that is on sale.
And it's a mug of the lens.
I've not been fooled by that before.
Yet.
How about Umio?
I like Umio. He's good. He's a good boy.
He is the straight man to the entire show.
Yeah.
And the
But
butt of
he's
every
a really
joke.
good boyfriend for Sensei.
He is. And he really admires her, even before he knew who she was.
Yeah.
Because he apparently gets hired like before the show starts, but only shortly before the show starts. And he comes in saying, oh, I really love this one mangaka. And it turns out that's Sensei, who gets super embarrassed by this before he finds out the truth.
Also, I like how he perpetually misses Tsumoden being around.
Oh, yes.
He never
Now-
gets a chance.
I know they talked about her being the creator of that one. I guess it's an Ero-gai, but it's also
Yeah, it's date sim.
it's also an Ero-hone, and I don't remember if she's the author of the manga or the game.
She wrote one storyline in the game.
Ah, okay.
His favorite storyline.
I see. He's very let's say dedicated, very
Yeah.
dedicated to her.
Yeah, he does have some waifus
By the way, I
that are
didn't
figures.
realize this before. So, what was the name
Yeah.
of that cafe where Sensei is always doing all of her work?
No, I know, right? I when I was going through the names, I was like, aha, yeah, it's John something. It's very close to it being Jonathan.
It's like Jonagans.
yeah,
And
and
her mangaka name
Sensei's
is
pin name is
Jonataro.
well. That's because she writes all of her manga. That's a really good thing where they do the day in the life of Sensei, where she goes to the cafe.
And stays there all day having bought like 2 drinks.
She buys you the drinks and it successfully does not buy a dessert.
Good for her. She just goes home and has
for her.
leftover ramen. No, it's fresh ramen in leftover ramen soup.
Well, because it was the high-end soup.
It was.
The
It was
high-end instant ramen
It's like the
soup.
$3 ramen as opposed to the 10-cent ramen.
Yeah, man, it's important.
Okay, let's talk about Kantoku.
He is the biggest perv of the lot, but he holds it well. He owns it, man.
Are you talking about his banana hammock?
You're not wrong. He does hold it well.
I don't know what to say about this guy.
I don't know.
He's
Good,
all over
though.
the
I like
place.
him. He's the shift manager for this part of the department store because it's a big multi-floor manga shop. So he's everyone's boss.
He has a heart of gold, but of the bunch, and this is saying something, he's the perviest one.
Oh, absolutely. But he's good because he just doesn't try to hide it. He's very upfront with how pervy he is about these things.
Oh yes, he
And I
will
can
give
respect
very impassioned speeches, especially
that.
around
And very upfront.
when they're changing store advertisements, like during the seasons. People like Hio-tan will ask very innocent questions. Well, we just had summer; those were a lot of boobs. Why in the fall do we have more boobs? That makes no sense.
Well, he's very good at this.
Yes, he has to give a
His reason for why panty season is the spring is very good.
You know, at first, when he started that rant, I thought, well, that's just stupid. But by the end, I'm like, he makes some very good points.
Yeah, he's very good points, yeah.
I cannot
And the
refute
display
any of these.
that Sensei is in charge of that display? Yeah, because she's trying to learn how to do a good panty shot in her manga. With the little fan blowing up the skirt.
Now, one thing, I feel like this was extremely intentional. The first episode points out that Kantoku is named that. It means literally director. And that's because he, quote, makes films. And then you think that's going to become a running gag, but it doesn't come up again. The only time it comes up is when suddenly Sensei is tied to a chair and forced to watch a film
That's very good.
about why her girl power is so bad.
Again, very good. Everything about Sensei and her personality, like the other characters are kind of two-dimensional, but Sensei is pretty well fleshed out.
That whole sequence, that whole film that he put together was
Sensei's
delightful.
battle with her femininity versus her roughness is very good.
The best part about that
She
movie
wants
was
to-
right at the beginning where they go to an anonymous source with the voice all modified and a black bar
It's like,
across the
it's
eyes.
so
I'm like,
obviously
it's clearly
Kantoku.
Kantoku. What are you doing?
So obvious. And even she's like, that's obviously Kantoku. What are you doing?
And then he takes off points for like literally everything and then gives her back like a total of 4. It's like, good job, 4 points. She's like, I don't want your meager points.
I want your points.
How about Sommelier?
Does he even talk in the whole show?
I think he says a word once to Foo Girl. I think it's it.
But I like Sommelier. He is your buff man trope, the gentle giant.
He has a presence.
He does, and he can just stare into your soul and know what porn you like.
And he's very good at that.
He is.
Turns
That's why
out-
his name is Sommelier.
He's been good at that ever since he was like 10.
Yeah. That episode is funny, but deeply problematic in a lot of ways, but also really kind of funny, so I'm of two minds of that episode.
It works well for where it is.
It is, yeah, no. It does a good job with Ero-Works G-Man,
Yes.
giving her a good backstory.
Because up until that episode, she has no backstory at all, other than she appears every once in a while for comic relief, kind of.
Yeah.
Would you like to describe to our listeners what a sommelier party is?
Okay, so Sommelier Party is where Sommelier sits at a big desk, and women come up to him, he stares at them, and then hands them the perfect porn book. That's not always women, sometimes it's men, sometimes it's elderly couples.
Okay, that line where he was handing out all the free stuff,
Mm-hmm.
those were a lot of weird comments.
They were.
Like, the first book he gives out of the Santa sack is a book that says something like, it's a lolly book. I don't remember the title. Doesn't matter. But the guy who takes it is weeping openly and says, I'll treat this just like my daughter. Like,
Yeah, I know, right? All those comments are very, like, is what you're doing good, Sommelier? But the old couple's really great. Oh, I'm so glad to have lived so long to receive this porn mag.
oh my goodness.
Lord.
Uh,
That's about it.
well, we have a couple other ones. Ero-Works Jimin.
Yeah. She's great.
I was hoping that they would have like used her more before the big reveal of she's also a super perv, but they blew that one
it
like
would've been pretty good.
right in the first episode.
They did.
Still
I
good
agree.
though.
Yeah, good joke.
So what did you find problematic with her backstory?
I mean, they're grade schoolers, man.
Hey, grade schoolers have needs too. I feel really skeevy saying that.
Yeah, you should. That's good. It's good. It means you still have a soul in there somewhere, rattling around.
It's buried under a floorboard in an old shack. That's where my soul is. How about Sumodin? She's like the romantic foil.
I do like Sumarin. She's okay. She's got a good personality. I like how she gets drunk and just smashed on things. And Kantoku tries very hard not to invite her to the Ohanami party. And yet.
So here's what I like about Sumodin, because I'd totally forgotten she existed.
Yeah.
So when she shows up initially, she's Kantoku's old girlfriend, and she's perfect, she's successful, she's pretty, blah, blah, blah. And she's making it her mission to make Sensei a successful woman. right?
Yes.
So you think that she's supposed to be this ideal, and she's going to come in. She's not going to take Kantoku from Hio-chan, but you never know, right? But as the show progresses, and it becomes clear that Kantoku doesn't really want to get back with Sumodin at all, she like goes in reverse.
She becomes a hot mess.
Like at first she's trying to help Sensei. He's like, oh, just do all these things. But by the end, she's like, don't do any of those things. It only leads to grief.
It doesn't even matter.
She even goes up to Sensei and is like, girls aren't all that bad either, I'm just saying. Come on, man. Yeah. Help a bro out. So that's all the characters. We ran out.
Yeah. There aren't very many, but but all of them none of them are really, there's a couple tertiaries, but I mean, it's got one, two, I mean, almost all these are primary characters.
I forgot about the Dark Horse main character.
Oh?
Lime Cat.
Oh, the Lime Cat series was very funny.
What's wrong with that cat's face?
Everything and nothing at the same time.
I don't know why those are even in the show. They're just silly asides. But for some reason,
one of it
great.
was to explain why Sommelier didn't have his shirt that one time, or an umbrella.
Yes, but that wasn't really a burning question. But here we were.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I was burning with something.
I love the fact that they go back and they're like, okay, I'm going to get this cat. I bought all this stuff for this cat. Oh no, someone's taken the cat. Who is it? It's punks. I should follow them and find out what they're doing. And the punks have these evil faces, and they're like, I'm gonna wash this cat.
I'm gonna pet it. Nice and gonna love this pussy cat. So, what do you think of this? What do you think was the best episode?
Ooh,
like if you had to tell somebody, if you're gonna watch the show, what episode should you watch?
The references to all the things are really great.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The Attack on Uncle episode is super great.
Attack on Uncle's pretty good.
But you need to see other episodes before that one to get the setup.
Yeah. I think Homeless is the best one. Episode 6, where Sensei's been sleeping, staying at the comic book shop.
Yes, I was mulling on that one, because the only note I have for episode 6 is poor Sensei bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go with episode 6 being the best episode.
6 is really good. And then you really have to see the part 2, which is, first off, well, it's the next episode, Bathhouse. But then sort of is 8. So like 6, 7, 8 is just a really good.
Good stretch.
Really good stretch.
Yeah. Episode 8's the one with the impassioned boob speech.
Is it? You sure? Because I think episode 8's another one where, I think that's the one where she accidentally asks somebody out on a date, and then it's the rough power.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. Episode 7's the one where she has...
where she meets the rough goddess.
Yes, and then they all try to come over and help her out. And she's like, but no one will love a flat chest like me. And then the other two are like, words have weight, and they hurt me. They hurt me deeply.
They hurt us, yeah.
I think the saddest thing in the whole show is just the entire concept of the Christmas corner.
I don't know. It's pretty solid. I love the idea of the Christmas corner.
I get that it exists, but it's just really sad that it exists. So if you don't know what the Christmas corner is, over in America, we think of Christmas as family time with love.
It's a romantic holiday in Japan.
It's basically Valentine's Day, what we would consider Valentine's Day, except with Kentucky Fried Chicken and strawberry cheesecake or shortcake.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's best not to worry about too much.
But this show has a Christmas corner inside the Ero-Works store where all the single people can go and buy aids to soothe their
wives,
their loneliness.
Their waifus.
I like all the different things that they have. Each character's asked to come up with one good thing to sell at the Christmas corner. I think Hio-tan's one's probably the saddest one because it's just a CD of a popular porn actress whispering into your ear. And that's it. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's rough, buddy.
And the sad thing is everyone in there, even though they're not officially together, they all have relationships in there.
Yeah.
Umio has Sensei like in the palm of his hand if he would like that.
And Sensei has Umio right in the palm of her hand.
Oh,
if they would both just admit it and move on with their lives.
But Umio goes outside to save the line of sad people from the pain and suffering of seeing couples walk down the street.
No, Sommelier does.
No, Umio goes out there too.
Oh, no,
he
you're
gets
right,
knocked
it
down,
is.
and he is saved by having his waifu in his pocket.
Yeah, that was very good.
Oh, that reminds
It's like,
me
don't worry.
of the
She was in my pocket.
of the games that they play in the summer against all the other doujin stores.
Yeah.
With SSD Ko-chan, followed shortly by SD Ko-chan. I learned one good thing from that episode.
Oh.
And that is
And that was?
a true man calmly abandons his wife to welcome his new one, but he only ever has one wife at a time.
One waifu at a time. It's a very important concept.
Just throwing that out there. It's words of wisdom.
It is. It's very important. Oh, the very last sketch of the show after the end credits of episode 12, the morning meeting with the actual manager of the whole store.
Oh yeah.
Very excellent sketch.
It
First
wa-
off, just the name of the light novel that's going on sale. Everyone in the world but me has turned into my little sister. You know, I already come up with so many good fake light novel titles, and that one's the best.
See,
That's very good.
This goes back to the creator of the show knows manga.
Yeah, because that's an excellent fake light novel series title.
It's really long, makes no sense, and then it's got sisters in it, and
Yeah,
an apocalypse question mark.
probably.
But it's all his sisters.
Everyone in the world except me has turned into my little sister. It's excellent. It's very good. That's exactly every fake light novel title that I come up with.
If I find it sometime, I need to send you a rant that my friend showed me a couple years ago. Back when all these mangas started and light novels had these really ridiculous names. I forget the name of the manga, but it was just a really long title. But this Japanese dude goes on a 45-minute long rant
Oh, Lord.
about how utterly stupid that name is. And he goes deep, but it's very well done.
Well, yeah.
Very,
there's so
very
much.
well done. I'll have to ask him for that, and I'll put it in the show notes if I find it.
All right, good. Can I also say how some of the animation in the show is surprisingly fantastic?
Oh, which ones? Which places?
Well, there's just all sorts of little parts, especially in the ending theme.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the hand movement animations are excellent.
I don't know how much money they spent on that ending theme.
Yeah, there's some great bits of animation in it.
Like the sensei doing the weird hand things.
Yeah, where it's just come here.
Is that what she's doing? Because I don't
Yeah,
feel...
it's a come here.
I don't really feel beckoned. I feel repulsed.
Yeah, she's trying to lure somebody into the shop.
As only sensei would.
As only Sensei would.
Yeah, this show's... It's good.
That's pretty good. It's worth a watch. You won't remember much of it, but it's a good one to just sort of, if you have a cold one day and you just want to blow out something. This is a good one.
I wouldn't exactly phrase it that way, but okay.
I would.
It tracks.
I definitely would.
It's fine.
Why wouldn't I?
I-
I see nothing wrong with that.
I can't... I have nothing.
Is there something wrong with the name Biggest Dickus, brother?
There's nothing wrong with
Does
the
that
name.
name make you laugh?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Biggest Dickus?
Speaking of biggest dickus, I think
Yes.
for next time, we should definitely watch...
Kaguya-sama Love is War?
Yeah, next time we should watch Kaguya-sama Love is War.
I will gladly rewatch it because that show is definitely the standout from last season.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I have to admit, in that show, there was only one episode where I didn't laugh out loud. So every episode, I was laughing out loud.
It's good.
At
it's
least
a
once.
solid show.
But we can talk about that next time.
We can, as well as talk about my good friend.
Biggest dickus. All right. Well, we will see you next time then with
For
biggest
Biggest
dickus.